Hello, everybody. Welcome to Spoken Word Sunday with Granddaddy G, episode 81, The River of Life. Last week I mentioned I was getting low on material, so this week I was inspired to write many new poems, and I'm going to share three of them tonight. The first one is called The River of Life. We are all swept downstream in the river of life, holding on to branches and logs, keeping our heads above water. We see the trees and bushes passing by on the right side and the left. Looking forward, we guide ourselves past obstacles. We cannot look back for fear we crash into something up ahead. Occasionally, there is white water, and it is very dangerous. Unfortunately, some are lost in the rapids. Often, we come to a place where the water is still and quiet, more like a lake than a river, and then we can relax and float for a while. Before long, the current picks up again, and we are swept away. Sometimes it is sunny and hot, other times rainy and cold, but the river is always flowing. The cycles of day and night, sun and moon propel us. We know that time is passing, but we do not feel it. In the present moment, everything appears the same as it always has. The river ends up at a waterfall. We do not know how far away it is until it overcomes us and we go over the side. It may be very, very near or very, very far. Are we dumped out into an ocean of souls that have gone before us? Or are we thrown into another river that sweeps us downstream again? If we survive the fall, we will find out. Yes, it is interesting how we don't feel the passage of time. A couple weeks ago, I showed a photo of my high school senior photograph, and I still think that I look like that. Obviously, I don't, but we just don't feel ourselves age. I wonder if trees feel that way also about their aging. This is called Tree Outside My Window. There is a tree outside my window. The cold winter wind blows off all her leaves. The leaves gather on the ground below and provide her nourishment, just as she nourished them all their lives. In the spring, new leaves will be born. She will have stored up all the energy from last year's leaves to feed her newborns. This summer, the shade will return to the yard when she stretches out her branches, just in time to shield my window from the hot summer sun. She does not need a calendar or a watch to know which season it is. She will change colors in the fall and prepare for the harvest. Rain and sun and food from the soil come in due time, without striving. All she needs to do is be present. God does the rest. And God will do that for us as well. We just have to be present. I read the book of Revelations in the Bible. Read it a couple of times. It really fascinated me. So I wrote this called Life After Death. It seems to me Western civilization somehow got it wrong. There is a common belief that when we die, we are instantly standing before a podium, like a desk at a restaurant where the maitre d' or host checks for our reservation. The guy who greets us is an elderly man with long white hair and white beard wearing a white robe. He looks up our name in a book. He has the keys to the pearly gates. It is said he is St. Peter from the Bible. But in reading the Bible, it doesn't say that that's how it happens. In the book of Revelations, it says that all those who die will wait until after the final battles. It is not until after the Lamb has defeated the great red dragon will there be resurrection and judgment. After the 7 angels have sounded the 7 trumpets, after the 7 vials of plagues have been poured out upon the earth, after all the water has turned to blood and the earth scorched by fire from the sky, after the Euphrates River has run dry and turned to sand, after diseases and locusts and earthquakes and fiery hail, after the beast has turned man against God, after the beast has been cast out into the bottomless pit. It is then we will be resurrected and judged from the book of life according to our works. Those who are not cast into the lake of fire will have everlasting life in the new earth. The new earth will have no sun and no sea. The Lamb will provide the necessary light in the beautiful city of New Jerusalem. The Bible says these events transpire over many thousands of years. I guess faith takes a lot of patience. It does. Speaking of faith and patience, St. Peter in his epistle taught the early Christians to have 8 principles in their life: faith, patience, virtue, temperance, knowledge, godliness, kindness, and charity. And if you follow Jesus' rule of love thy neighbor as thyself, that commandment, and incorporate those 8 principles into your life, I think you'll be doing all right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week. I'll see you next Sunday on Spoken Word Sunday with Granddaddy G. I appreciate you liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos.